First, let's start with the overall implementation strategy and plan, which was highly flawed, in my opinion, based on what I've read during research of this. And first of all, let's look at the overall implementation duration. The implementation duration was recommended to be 48 months, which is about 4 years. Seems like a long time, but for a large organization, that seems pretty reasonable. But what Hershey's did is they pushed back on that duration and said they wanted to try to get it done in 30 months, not 48. Reason being is that this is in the late 90s, and there was a fear that the Y2K situation was going to get the best of them. In other words, back in the 90s, a lot of companies were worried about their legacy mainframe systems, which was what Hershey's was on. They were worried that the 2-digit year code, so in other words 1999, would be entered in a system as 99, not 1999. People were worried that once 2000 hit and it switched to 00 in the system, that the systems would all crash. But the point is that Hershey's was afraid of Y2K. They knew they had to switch their systems faster. They thought they needed to switch their systems faster, so they compressed that time frame into an unrealistic 30-month duration. They also opted for a big bang approach, largely because of this 30-month timeline. They wanted to streamline things and go with the big bang approach, meaning that they were going to deploy all the modules and all the functionality all at once, overnight, flip the switch onto the new system. But at the time, Hershey's went with a big bang approach, and they flipped the switch on a lot of functionality almost too fast, faster than the organization can handle it, clearly. Perhaps even more damaging was that they limited their testing. They scaled back on their testing cycles, largely because, again, they were trying to compress their implementation into a 30-month time frame when it probably should have been closer to the 48 months that was originally planned for. And one of the core root causes of why this project failed is because they didn't test some of the core critical processes that happened during the holiday season for a chocolate manufacturer. But they only stockpiled 8 days on average of inventory. So these are some of the flaws and fatal mistakes that they made early in the implementation planning and the overall implementation strategy, and these are mistakes that most of us could avoid by taking a better path for the digital strategy.